Alright folks, I'm about to do some video reviews here of the Massey Ferguson 5610 and give you my first impressions, go around, show you all the features, and let you get a good look at the tractor. But I thought I'd do another video real quick of why I chose this tractor. That's another subject. Like I said, I wanted to get something other than deer for various reasons. Just run deer for a long time, and yeah, they are pricey. And there was always a saying, pay now or pay later with the deers, and I think that was always kind of the general logic around here. And I can't complain too much about them, but there are some little things that are starting to aggravate me with deer. They I think feel like they've got the market on not just their tractors, but certain parts and things that you can only get them from them, and they're gonna stick it to you. So that's that. If you die-hard deer guy, which I like deer, I'm still gonna be running the 6415, be running still the 468 John Deere baler. There's still several pieces of John Deere equipment here that I've got no intentions of replacing. But yeah, so I want to try something different. So I started looking around. I thought I'd keep an open mind and just go from dealer to dealer, brand to brand, and just see if I found something else I liked it'd fit. Starting out my search, I felt like I was just gonna stick with the deer, and I just couldn't come up with anything that just seemed like the quality of the deer and features, and I wanted something with a little bit cheaper price tag on it. The 6330 Premium is an expensive tractor, and it should be. It's got a lot to offer, and I didn't want to take too much of a step back, and I think this Ferguson, in ways on it is a step forward. Few things are step back, but it's a good happy medium, and it is a cheaper tractor, and there may be some things on it that are cheaper than the deer, but hey, does it really have to be that robust? But anyway, I started looking out at the McCormick's. I've seen some guys around here running those. Have seen them with more than one McCormick, over the past 10, 15 years. I've heard people say they like the McCormick. I've read reviews online and stuff about, they seem to be a good tractor. And yeah, I drove a McCormick. An X6030 was one of the ones I drove. Also looked at the X50s. X50s was a little bit smaller tractor. And new engine, diesel particulate filters, all the emission stuff, which that's something I was trying to keep in mind. The X6030 McCormicks were they're being discontinued, but they're still a tier 3 instead of a tier 4 on the emissions requirements. But anyway, so I looked at those. While I was at that dealer, they had a Massey Ferguson 5610. It was a demo unit. It wasn't this tractor. Had about 150 hours on it. Pretty loaded up. I sat in that tractor first time I went over there. Looked around it, thought, I wasn't too, it just didn't like it at first. So, yeah. So I went to looking at the New Holland's Case International, which in that particular model, let's see, the T T9. I may be getting X90s. I may be getting them mixed up. But anyway, the New Holland and the Case for the exact same tractor, just different paint. They were a little cheaper than the Massey. The only gripe I had on them was no power shift, no shifting capabilities. Just you know, just seemed like a cheaper tractor. And again, diesel particulate filters and emission stuff that I didn't want. I looked at Kubota. My gripe with Kubota is they got high horsepower tractors, but they just don't seem beefy enough to me. I'm not saying they aren't, I just, Deere seems to over beef stuff, so cabs were nice in the Kubotas. The they were roomy. Transmission seemed like pretty good. I think I looked at, was it G110s or M110s? It was a 110 horse tractor. So I looked at those. I did look at an LS tractor, but that's not for the, I don't think it's for the everyday farmer or high, That's a 100 horse tractor they've got, but I don't know. It looked weak to me. But anyway, if you need one for a few acres for a cheap price, that might be okay. But anyway, so I went to researching all these tractors, trying to decide, which brand to go with. I was really leaning heavy towards that McCormick, but it seemed a little bit outdated, and I knew it was on the way out, so I wondered how I would feel with that tractor. So for some reason I started researching these Masseys again, and as I started looking at specs and different things on them, I began to realize it was actually a pretty good setup. So I went back to the dealer with the demo, drove that tractor, and the transmission, the loader joystick, how everything is done on that, being able to control the transmission off from the joystick there, which I'll show you here later. I just love that. The sloped hood you can see behind me, where you can see what you're doing with the loader. I like that. So yeah, I got liking that tractor. So I started trying to buy the demo unit, and I just wasn't sure. They had a price, they weren't budging on it, and I wasn't sure if it was fair or not. So I started calling around the other dealers, and that's how I wound up in Georgia. That guy had a tractor, but it had smaller tires on it I didn't want, and the price was actually lower than the demo unit. So then he knew about this tractor here behind me. It was over in Atlanta. Said he could get it. I had seen the pictures of this tractor online posted. When he started telling me about it, I knew which one it was. It had all the features that I wanted on it. So we started dealing on it. It wasn't much more than that demo unit that I drove. So, it seemed like the right thing to do. Also, this tractor, if you kept up with Massey Ferguson recently, this very model, the 5610, made the trip to the South Pole on an expedition. I think it took them about 16 days. They took a 5610 to the South Pole in Antarctica. As I'm taping this, they're on their way back. The journey back with it. I think they're getting close. They could have made it back by now with it, but anyway, that said a lot. You got a tractor that can make it, on a 16-day expedition in that frigid weather. You know, that's good, and you know, it made me feel more comfortable about making this purchase. But anyway, but yeah, this one boiled down to a lot of things. It was the most features for the buck. Emissions requirements. This has no diesel particulate filter, no DF fluid. All it uses is a oxidation catalyst oxidation, or diesel oxidation catalyst, DOC. Maybe I'm saying that right. No regen, you know, nothing like that. It's maintenance-free system. That DOC piece takes place of the muffler, and you know, it's a 3-cylinder motor. A lot of you may think, you know, but it is 100 horsepower. It will do everything I need it to do. It's supposed to be really good on fuel, so you know, really hoping that turns out to be the case. It's quiet, it's smooth. This is a you know, engine manufacturer I didn't know much about. I had to research it pretty heavy before I bought it, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that in the video. But anyway, I'm feel confident about it. We'll see how it holds up in the field. But anyway, that's the story on how I wound up with the Massey. Just a little background on that, and why I want to try them out. So anyway, I'll start some reviews here in a minute. You can look for them in the list of videos I got. See ya.